Hey, hey, hey! This is your girl, Henrietta. It's a new month. As a matter of fact, we have officially entered the second half of the year. Wow, I cannot believe it's been 6 months already. Okay, 2026 came with so many things, but today I decided to do something a little bit different from my usual self. Yes, I have some thoughts for the second half of the year, and I was like, okay, what a great way then to talk to the people who have been supporting me from the very beginning. And for those of you who don't know me, speaking of those of you who don't know me, my name is Henrietta. I am a mentor and a strategist, but at heart, I am the founder of a chosen generation. So that's why we're here. I feel like that deep breath was necessary. All right, let's jump into things. I came here because we are in the second half of the year. And as exciting and as nerve wracking as it feels, I believe we need to have some conversations. Okay? We need to have some conversation because this second half of the year, you are going to be effective if you are aware about your current circumstance, your surroundings, if you're aware about yourself. Okay, let me go straight into it. If you are aware about yourself, you are going to succeed in this second half of the year. Okay? As someone who mentor people, trust me when I say awareness is such um, a brushed off topic, but very necessary. Because until you are aware of your circumstance and where you are, you can never be aligned properly. Okay? So, awareness will lead to alignment. And I want to talk about this because, as exciting as it may feel, a lot of us are also feeling stuck. Okay? A lot of us are feeling stuck. We're feeling stuck at this time of the year because we're feeling panicky a little bit. Let's be honest. I'm one of them, okay? I'm one of them. But we're stuck also because we may not have clarity about what the second half of the year looks like. Yes, we don't have clarity for what the second half of the year looks like, but that's okay. That's why we are here to discuss. We start with I don't know, and we end with something, okay? You agree with me? All right, so moving beyond awareness and embracing alignment. That is the topic for today. And a lot of you may ask, Henrietta, why? It feels like you're starting in the middle. Like, why are you starting in the middle? Absolutely, I'm starting in the middle for a reason. Because it took me many years before I came to a space of awareness. And because of that, I lost some things, lost some people, lost opportunities. And as I mentored people over the years, I realized that we like to talk about the big problems that we're feeling, right? Which I'm going to talk about that. We like to talk about the big problems. We like to talk about what is making our nervous system just go crazy at that moment. And a lot of the times, it's not a last minute deal that came out of nowhere. It's not like a surprising element. We've been having signals throughout the year, different seasons that basically were trying to catch our attention in a specific area of our lives. And so you may come to me like, Henrietta, I'm feeling burnt out. I am stressed. I don't know what to do. But at the same time, I want money and I want to travel and I want to be there for my kids. Shout out to my moms out there. Yes, all of that can be achieved. But none of it can be achieved until you come to a place of awareness. So, what do I mean by that? So, awareness is essentially something that you sit down, you have what I call an audit, right? You have an audit about yourself. You have an audit about the previous seasons that have come and gone, and you look at the an element or a theme that kept reoccurring throughout those seasons, but you didn't pay enough attention to it. And so, because you didn't pay attention to it, now you come to a place where it feels like you are ineffective. Okay? So, again, awareness does not necessarily I want to say this so that it's clear. It's not good or bad, right? It's just being aware of the current circumstance. That's all I'm saying. Being aware about yourself, okay, where you are in that season and why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. I'm using the word burnout because a lot of the clients that come to me are feeling burnouts. And whether you are a parent raising children, or you are a boss lady in a corporate world kicking it, or you are an entrepreneur, it's something that you will face one way or the other. Not necessarily a bad thing, it's a very normal and human thing. But there are some practices that you can put in place to avoid going through several seasons of burnout. All right, I feel like I've gone off track a little bit, so let's get back into it. And so, one of the key things that I do when I work with my mentees, when I work with you, okay, that you're watching me, I start off with the purpose audit, okay? I call it a purpose audit, but really what it is let's talk about where you are in the season and why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, okay? A lot of the times it is connected to your purpose. Now, I'm a proponent of the purpose talk, but for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna dive into that, okay? When we do the audit, we look at everything. What is your financial status? What is your family status? What is your friendship status? The community of influence, the workplace, any all of the things that affect you, even your spirituality if you're a person of faith. I look at that and we have a clear audit of what that looks like currently. Okay, we have a clear audit of what that looks like currently. A lot of the times it's like, I feel like everybody has left me. Has everybody left you, or you have isolated yourself because you are dying slowly on the inside? Those are the conversations I want to hear. If you have withdrawn yourself from communities that you were thriving in before and now you're no longer there, I want to hear those things because they're not necessarily problems, they're symptoms to the problem, which is usually much, much deeper. It's like rooted really deeply that you were not we don't even talk about it, okay? So that's where I start off with. So, as a good exercise, I want you to audit the first 6 months of the year. And I'm gonna use me as the first person to do this. The first 6 months of the year, it was tough. It was rough. It was rough, but it was also good. For me, I came to a place of awareness when I came to understand that clarity was never an issue for me. It was mostly an alignment issue. Okay? Clarity was never an issue for me, it was an alignment issue. I've always been very clear about where I'm going, who I am as an individual, what my core values are, my foundation, my circles, like you name it. I've always been clear about that. What I wasn't clear about is what that looked like when it comes to my calling or my purpose. And because of that, I felt misaligned in many areas, okay? I felt misaligned in many areas, my faith included, my friendships, my community, including my family, and even how I parent. I felt misaligned. So for a long time, I was walking with areas in my back. I'm just using a figurative speech to explain this. I was walking, and in my back, I had like spots where it hurts, right? It felt like, okay, at the top of my shoulder it hurts, the back it hurts. And that's how I felt internally. There were places internally that felt misaligned. And so I was walking all right, but I wasn't walking straight. Yes, I wasn't walking straight. And so after doing some diving, rearranging of the community that is around me, my circles, foundational things, I came to a place I said, Henrietta was never confused about what she needed to do. I just needed to remove myself from certain environments so that I can attract the right opportunities. because there is such thing as wrong opportunities. Many people don't talk about it. I don't know why we don't talk about it enough. If we talk about it enough, I guess it's not enough for Henrietta to grasp it, okay? And so once that awareness set in, then I became properly aligned. I had a spiritual chiropractor adjusted my back. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And once that happened, voila, here we are. Had the amazing opportunity to meet really big people. Also had the amazing opportunity to connect with some amazing individuals that have impacted my life positively and have also put me in a space where I knew I needed to be in, but didn't know how to do so. And so that also meant that I had a different caliber of mentees that came, which really excites me. Because for those of you who don't know, I was in a corporate space for 10 years and one day I got up and left. I know my story is not unique, so I'm not going to dive into it today. But while I was there, I mentored people, I provided strategic insight to people. I was good at that stuff. I thrived in that environment because I am that girly. I really am. And so that brought me to here. I promise you, I was supposed to talk about will we be unawareness and embracing alignment. Sorry, I went back in circles. But if you do this right, you should come to a place where you know what the next or the second half of the year looks like. I post a post today about the half of the year is not a deadline. And I say that in all honesty because a lot of us feel like we've missed our deadline. Be honest. Be honest. A lot of us have feel like we missed our deadline with our organization. We've missed our deadline with some of the things that we wanted to do, whether it's friendship, whether it's traveling, self care, you name it. And the truth of the matter is, it is not final. Okay, this midpoint that you're at, whatever you couldn't accomplish at the beginning of the year, does not necessarily mean you failed. It's just giving you an opportunity to do better this second half of the year. But if you don't take this time to quote unquote this purpose audit, this just general audit about your life, you will end the second half of the year the same way you started the first half, or the same way you lived the first half. And so once you do the audit and you come to a place of awareness, and after awareness you come to a place of alignment, then things will start happening for you. I know it sounded like I was going to say something very, ooh, this is so good. It's going to come to you. I know this because it has happened to me. It is happening to me literally overnight, and it's taken it's taken a level of effort that is less than I've ever exerted in my life before. And so that is key to succeeding the end of the year. Okay? No gimmicks, no magical tools, no anything. Just align yourself properly with who you are internally. Okay? Because remember that you are as useful in this season, okay, or your season is as your season is useful as you are. Yes, your season and your effectiveness in the season is only as good as your output. Okay, and output is not overworking. Output is not more production. Output is not, oh, if I do this for this person, I'm gonna get this. No, 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 no. Output is when you operate from your most natural sense or natural stance, natural composure, who you are as an individual, maximizing that gift, that calling, or the thing that you're really good at to produce an output that has cascading effects, right? That other people can talk about, that can replicate, and in turn, it will come back to you in a form that you can just continue to do without burning out, and also celebrating your successes. Okay, and so when you align, and how you know you have aligned properly is that the ideas come very quickly, and when they come, they're so like bold and audacious, and you also get idea about who to connect to bring that idea to fruition. Like it's a whole thing that happens, and then your community starts to change, because believe it or not, you are an extension of your connections. Okay, I'll say it one more time. You are an extension of your connections, and so when you maximize your gift, when you maximize the thing that you do really well, when you maximize you, really, when you maximize you, the people that are around you will follow suit immediately. Everybody is going to feel more comfortable. Everybody is going to ride on the wave of boldness that you are riding on. They're going to feel inspired by you. They're going to give you insights and criticism, constructive criticism, that are going to be of benefit to your business, or be of benefit to your career and your family, or anything that is requiring your attention in that season. So I will say it again. This season, from now to the end of the year, will be effective if you position yourself to maximize who you are in your natural stance that other people can benefit. Okay. Now, I know the word benefit sometimes is associated with the word use, so that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, I, Henrietta, should be able to walk in a space where, because I am aligned, I attract certain level of, certain caliber of people, or attract certain opportunities that I can recommend to you or other people, and they can have a mutual and equal level of benefit. And so you and I can succeed in that season without having to like do 10 billion things. Okay, if it feels like I've gone around in circles, forgive me, but I just want to make sure that this is really clear, because a lot of us, what we do is we go to the next conference, we pay for coaching services, which I highly recommend. Okay, pause. I highly recommend having a coach. I have a coach. Okay. I have a mentor as well. These are services I highly recommend you having them. They are literally the shortcut to success. They are a shortcut to success. When you become my mentee, you're not just how do you say, you're not just coming to me and paying for my services just so you can walk away. I am exclusively involved in your life and exclusively involved in your success. And because my name is associated with it, guess what? I go 100%, 100 yards, 100 whatever with you. That is just my work ethic. That's how I was in the corporate space, and that's how I am in this space. Okay, and so I highly, highly recommend you getting coaching and mentorship services so that you can succeed in the next half of the year. Okay, so back to the topic of awareness and alignment. When you are in position, because that's literally what happens, other people in your environment are going to thrive, and they thrive in ways that requires very little of you. I'll say it again. They thrive in ways that require very little of you, and you're not gonna feel drained, and you're not gonna feel like, I've poured, and nobody's pouring into me. No, no, no. Everybody's going to succeed, and that success is gonna make you happy, because you have no choice but to celebrate them as they celebrate you. And so, this second half of the year, let's recap some of the things that we talked about. I want you to start by doing an audit. Audit the first 6 months of your life. Okay, if you are a person in ministry and you are a leader, honestly audit yourself as a leader in the first 6 months of the year. Have I been operating in my God-given space, my God-given purpose within a church, outside of church, or in my community? Have honest review about yourself. Okay, if you're an entrepreneur, do the same thing. It's not just about the numbers. Okay, it's not just about the sales that you've done the first half of the year. How is what you are producing, what you are selling, the services that are offering, how are they beneficial to your community, and what is expansion looking like? Is it this are you on track with what you said you were gonna do? Okay, if you are a parent, I'm a parent, I'm a mother of three. That's have an honest audit about yourself as a parent. Have I been showing up for my children the way that I said I was going to show up for them. I had X, Y, and Z goal at the beginning of the year. Even if I fulfilled them, that I fulfilled them in a way that feels that felt more natural to me, and how my kids responding to them. Do that if you're a spouse, if you're a wife, or if you're a husband. Do the same thing. Have an honest audit about the first 6 months of the year, because you'll be surprised to find out that the adjustments that you need to make is very little. Okay, the adjustments that you need to make is very little, and that adjustment is simply alignment. Just align yourself to maximize the output of the next 6 months that it is to come. And then once you do that, you realize, oh, okay, I'm not too far off, which is true. I'm not too far off, because what happens, and this is from a lot of people that I've worked with, we get hyper focused, okay? We hyper focus on that one symptom that feels like a problem, okay? That we lose everything else that has happened around us in that season, okay? So that's, that's another one. That's where misalignment always also occurs, because the symptom is just a symptom, right? It's a symptom. It's meant for you to dig deep into it to find out, why is it bothering me so much, okay? So that you can expand on it. And then once you remove the focus from it, right, from that symptoms, then you're like, okay, it's not too bad. And the reason why that area feels a little bit more sensitive or more hyper focused to me is because I either need to pay attention in a different way, or I need to seek help. Yeah, I need to seek help, or I need to bring it to the attention, to my mentor's attention. I need to bring it to my trusted community attention, right? I need to bring it into light to somebody that can help me make sense out of it, okay? And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what this next half of the year is going to look like. I am really nervous. I'm really nervous. But I'm nervous in a good way. Yes, I am nervous to see what's going to come out of it. I'm nervous and excited to see the output, how I'm going to transform people's lives, because I'm a transformative mentor, and also how it's going to set me up for success for 2027. Because what I'm not going to allow this channel to do, whoever is watching me, I'm not going to allow you to enter 2027 with some stuff, okay? Confusion is a thing of the past. We are in a state of clarity in the present, okay? Confusion is a thing of the past. Clarity is a state of the present. Ooh, I like that. Confusion is the thing of the past. Clarity is the state of the present. And that's what we need to live in, because that's how everything else is going to cascade. So, like I said, I had some thoughts. I hope this was useful. I'll be coming up with some more talks, okay? But in the meantime, follow Chosen G, follow my organization. Follow me on social media, Henrietta Deny Official. And I look forward to this next episode. And what's to come in the next month, 2 months, 3 months? Is it official to say 6 months? Or maybe 5? I'm not gonna go crazy with that. But yes, see you in the following month.